How you doing? I'm here today to ask you a few questions in the interview. Asking in the beginning of the interview, is this everything with your full consent? You are okay with this? This is something that you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'll just start off with a few basic questions. What is your name?
My name is Stephen Samuels.
Stephen Samuels. And what year are you?
I am a first-year graduate student.
What were some of the reasons that you chose Northern Illinois University as your college choice?
The main reason was because I have a family a lot of family that have attended NIU, and on a close angle, my sister was a student at NIU when I was about a junior in high school, and actually moved to DeKalb in efforts to get prepared to learn the community, get adjusted to the area, as well as pursue my journey into NIU.
Okay. And you're pursuing to NIU, were there any obstacles starting to transition for you registering or coming into NIU or anything like that?
I would say it was nothing of that nature. Had problems. I graduated in 2013, came in 2008, and I came in through the Chance program. But I would say I didn't have issues of that nature. I did have issues pretty much adjusting from where I came from originally once I came to NIU's campus.
That's good. Where did you come from exactly?
Originally, I was born I'm from the west side of Chicago, lived in that area for a while, also lived in the Oak Park area, but moved to DeKalb my junior year of high school when I was 16 in 2006.
You said it was a major transition, or it was fairly, something you was used to or could adapt well to?
Definitely was not something easy. I could say during around that age, I was a product of my environment. A lot of people know about the Chicago area and what it entails, and DeKalb is very different. So I had to really pretty much adapt and change my nature, change my arithmetic, change my perception, and change my way of thinking, change a lot of things to make the transition pretty much a success. It wasn't a smooth transition, but I made it through.
I remember hearing you say that your sister attended NIU. What was her major?
My sister did early childhood education.
Did that affect you any on your decision on picking your major?
It was an influence early on. Like a lot of college freshmen, I went through about 3 or 4 majors before I finally made my decision. That wasn't one of them. I started off with pre-physical therapy, went to psychology, thought about doing sociology, but ended up finding my home, I could say, in political science.
What about a political science intrigues you?
What about it?
Yes.
I believe that political science is a partial part, or should I say, almost everything is a partial part of political science, just like everything is a partial part of history or education. All of those are factors into daily life. And I was the type of person that, the reason I chose political science because it was something that I indulged in research-wise on my own spare time. So I had a pretty good knowledge base on political science, thought I could contribute to the program as well as learn more from the program. But I love political science because it's bigger and broader than a lot of people may think, and it affects almost everything, every aspect of our life, whether that's the gas price or how much you're paying for your student fees.
Whoa. Bringing you into my topic of discussion is some of the things you mentioned was back home, the transition, the things that are going on back home, the house that could benefit or hinder students from that Pacific area to coming to NIU. The question was, how do you feel about the African American retention rate at NIU's campus? And how do you feel, is it higher or lower than the traditional ethnic backgrounds for other students?
Comparatively, I believe that it's, because this is what I work in right now, my field is of retention. And I know that it's we're bringing in more students now than we have in previous years of the African American community, but we're not keeping them. We are having problems pertaining to keeping them because of I would say one of the big factors is the being prepared when we get here. I believe CPS, the college public school system, is not, as well as a lot of other schools, districts, and systems are not preparing high school students for the college level work. And a lot of people know that Chicago is one of the worst nationally wide, and pretty much a lot of students are not coming in prepared, whether that's pertaining to phonics, grammar, arithmetic, mathematics is a big one, writing, but even character. We having issues from several different aspects, and all of those contribute to that retention rate. And I could identify with it, like I spoke upon earlier, was that adaptation phase. So a lot of people have to adapt and change from, because a lot of us are products of our environment. And Chicago is a very different place than a lot of places, as well as a different place that a lot of people may not never see and may not never understand, and some don't even believe it exists. But yeah, Chicago is a place that is hard to transition from, and DeKalb is a major difference, and I think that plays a huge part into retention.
Being one of the few students, in your opinion, that has learned how to adapt well, what would you consider to be some of the defining factors that helped in your transition?
I would definitely believe the people that I associated myself with. When I came into NIU, I came in with a group of people that I knew since I was, in middle school, with the high school with them. We all came to NIU. Some of them came from Chicago later on, and a lot of them didn't make it. But I think a factor that helped me was that I moved to DeKalb when I was 16, so I got a feel for the university as well as a feel for the town, and kind of started adapting. I had a head start with a lot of my counterparts, but I definitely feel that that's a difficult question. Can you be more specific?
When I say some of the defining factors, what's some of the things that helped you change your mindset from a Pacific way, or the Pacific way that it was? What's some of the things that helped you feed yourself this knowledge that you have?
Yeah, I wouldn't see what angle you was coming from.
Okay.
I would definitely contribute it to the programs that we have at NIU. Definitely, once I got involved on campus, that's what you could say my life and my college experience really changed. That's really when it really took off. I could say one of the early programs I got into was the peer mentoring program that was through Chance, because I had a pretty good GPA starting off, so we had above a 3.0. We were called upon, and I was one of those called upon to be a peer mentor. And after that, it was BMI, the Black Male Initiative, started by Don Bramley, and that organization really took me to another level. It changed my way of thinking. It changed my whole college experience. It got me involved in several different levels. And I really would contribute that to BMI. That was the launching pad for me.
Me being a member of Black Males Initiative as well, I understand that there is a huge aid in the transition when it comes to becoming an NIU student and preparing yourself. But how do you feel about organizations as a whole, what they're actually doing for students involving retention? How does it help, or how does it disadvantage retention, in your opinion?
Which demographic of organizations are you talking about? It's a lot of, NIU have over 250 organizations.
Let's stay specific to the African American community.
Okay. I was gonna say, definitely the organizations. It plays a huge role. I would go with pop into my head was a quote by Brother Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, when he stated that the purpose of college is more than just what you can get in the classroom. It's about education, and even more than education, it's about character. And organizations really build your character. And if you think about what NIU is producing, what product we are producing pertaining to students, you have to have a well-rounded sense of development, as well as be able to have skills that you can't really gain in the classroom. So whether that's in-depth public speaking, as well as a different way of thinking, skills that just you have to go through experiences to gain. And I definitely know that building my character, a lot of it came from outside of the classroom initiatives, whether that was through BMI, the Student Association, or even MOVE, Men of Vision, Excellence, and Empowerment. These were entities that really helped me develop and helped me have a well-rounded college experience.
So your suggestion for students, did this have any conflictions with your study times or being able to focus in class? I hear you saying multiple times that you were required to have different outlets other than what the classrooms were providing you. How did you feel that the classroom not providing you everything you need affected you being here?
I think it enhanced me personally, and I think a lot of people can contest to this. Like one of the biggest fears of a lot of people is public speaking. I know we take comms classes and introductory comms classes that's focused on getting you comfortable in front of big crowds, but I really didn't excel in that until I joined BMI, to where I was speaking in front of people every week, sometimes multiple times a week, and pretty much I believe it enhances you. I love to research, I love to read, and a lot of the knowledge base that I have did not come from inside the classroom. But I was able to take what I learned outside the classroom and apply it inside the classroom, as well as vice versa. Learn things in the classroom and apply them outside the classroom. But I wouldn't say one is more valuable than the other. I would say they go hand in hand. I would say that, like I said, it goes back to having that well-rounded development as a student, that some things you can't get inside the classroom. But I don't think, I know a lot of people may, becoming a student leader may get tripped up in becoming a leader student, and instead of focusing on the grades first. But I always kept my priorities straight. Before I had my meetings or e-board meetings or whatever may entail, I would also make sure that I attended class regularly. I never missed class unless it's for a real reason. I made sure I got the work done. Whether that was during a meeting, before a meeting, or after a meeting. I know I had to get my work done, but I also wanted to contribute to the community and to the organizations that I was a partial part of.
Okay. Could you elaborate on some of the key things that you feel aren't being implicated or aren't being driven upon for students, African American students in specific, in classrooms?
Here at NIU, I believe, I met with President Baker, we discussed this. I believe some of the knowledge that we are, or should I say, some of the education that we are receiving is kind of outdated. We have research institutions as well as, NIU is a research institution, and we need to get back to that research, whether that's the administrators or that's the professors or even the students. We need to have more initiatives to emphasize that. And I believe that that the knowledge, it's a difference between education and knowledge. And some of the things that are lacking, one of the things obviously is just truth. I've been in several classrooms, whether that was political science, history, a big one was sociology, where some of the information was, some was misleading, some of it was kind of wrong, some of it was kind of, you could say, prejudice in some aspects. But then it's like I say, history is a partial part of all of this, and we need to get back to making sure our information is correct, our information is up to par and up to date, because new information is learned every day, new things are discovered every day. But principle-wise, I don't believe that it's 2013, and the first person to ever do a sociological perspective study on U.S. soil was W.B. Du Bois, and I took several sociology classes, and I never heard his name.
Do you feel that plays a huge part in the retention rate, that students feel uncomfortable due to the fact that they don't feel relevant in classrooms?
Definitely. That takes me back to thinking about sociology, but also made me think about journalism. When I did a summit speaking to the dean and chair of that department, we was talking about how the arithmetic that they have, we have to engage students, and we have to be able to engage students from every demographic, as well as challenge them and hold them accountable. But if I'm taking a journalism class and the whole class is surrounded by going to the media and getting our observations from the media and then writing upon them, me as a black man, I don't see too many positive images that look about me or look like me in the media. So that is a disengagement right there. But we have to come up with ways to engage all students, as well as be able to identify what we are dealing with when we have students. We have a classroom, we have to understand there's all type of minds in there. But that means that there's all different types of geniuses in that class. So we have to be able to spark that in all of our students, and we just have to pay attention to how we do it because yes, we are people, we are humans, but we come from different places and we think differently. We have a different, you could say, mental makeup. So we have to be able to understand how to teach people from different, you could say, demographics, to be lack of a better term.
Okay. When it comes to that, how do you feel that other ethnic backgrounds are more privileged or more prepared than most African American students coming from inner city Chicago, in your perception?
All since I could go back, since I can remember, since kindergarten up to when I graduated from NIU, I always saw images of white historians, white scholars, white philosophers, white contributors to history, but I never saw people that looked like me, and was rarely taught by people that looked like me. Also, it made me think about historically, like even on NIU's campus, our history department, when we have your Black History class, it only through the history department. That class starts in 1492, and it's just that we understand what we're living in, if we do, that there was a lot of history before 1492. Before even the 3rd century, we had people that had 25 dynasties in Africa, where Europe was still coming out of their second dark age. So why can't we go back and teach all of that if we're going to have an equal system? But that's what I think a key word I just used was system. That it pertains to the system. It's not nothing personal, but it's just the system that we live under in 2013 that has been relevant for a long time, and throughout history is very easy to see.
Do you feel like this system is targeting retention rates in schools, including NIU's campus, of African American students?
In some forms, yes, because you got to remember, NIU is an institution. It's a business, just like many other institutions. Whether you're in jail, you're a number. At NIU, you're a Z number. And it's about profit. NIU is a for-profit institution, and you got to understand that it's ultimately about the dollar at the end of the day. As long as they can get your numbers and get you to increase their numbers and get your dollars, that's really what it boils down to. As long as that quota is met and it looks like we have, what is supposed to be politically correct, everybody is happy. But if we really, really go in depth and investigate these things, it's bigger than NIU or any small university or college. I believe, and through research, that it's a war on minority people, whether you're talking undocumented students or you're talking about the students that come from the inner cities. A place like DeKalb, they really don't want to see those people around here. It's been stated by several administrators, as well as several, you could say, our police officers. So we got to understand that in the whole United States of America, there has been a war on African Americans since we were brought here, and even there was a war before we were brought here on the people that was here before the Europeans showed up. And we have to understand that that war has not subdued. It's really just been switched. It's a covert war. So you got to understand that nobody really wants people to excel bigger than the system. If I'm the person running this and I'm the puppet master, why would I make my puppet be able to do more things that I can do, as smart as I am, or capable as I'm capable of being? That's not wise. And you know how education is. Education is a private entity, just like our prison system is becoming private. Education was bought a long time ago by a man named Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller, and like they stated, I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. And that's something that's kind of bigger than just black or white or whatever we may have. But particularly, a lot of people don't understand the African American, and a lot of people don't want to understand the African American. And I believe that there has been agendas made pertaining to that, as well as efforts to keep it that way. Mm-hmm. So I believe it boils down to ignorance as well as a lack of knowledge. And like I said earlier, it's a difference between education and knowledge.
Huge difference. How do you feel that financial burdens affect on retention rates in school?
It plays a huge part. Like when I came into NIU, I met a lot of people that wasn't the same color that I was, who was here, and grandma or grandpa is paying for their tuition. Very rarely you will see that in the black community, and that's you can see historically why that is. So a lot of things has a ripple effect, and things happen for a reason in history that still plays a part today. So a lot of people of the African American community is not financially stable. Like I said, if you're coming from the city of Chicago, if you're coming from the inner city, you know that it's kind of a poor place, you know. And then when you get out here to NIU, it's kind of an adjustment. You know, some people get refund checks, take out their loans, and get all that business done. And we think that we have made a different transition, but a lot of people from different demographics are sitting on old money. You know, so they have money that was passed down, and this goes back from a long time since slavery. You know how who had the upper hand, who was able to make you would say rub elbows and grease hands with the correct people to make sure down the line that their people will be taken care of. And that's when in 2013 we still have to play catch up, whether that's technology wise or even when it comes to our arithmetic on economics. You know, the numbers don't lie, and it's getting worse. If you look at it back in right after you look at the early numbers of 1900s, the gap between the white household and the black household has got even larger now since being in 2013. So why is that? If we have equality now and all this, you know, the illusions that we fall victim to, I would say some things going on behind the board, as well as we could look at history and what caused this and why is it continuing to happen and why is it getting worse in 2013.
How well do you feel NIU provides resources for students to accommodate for these financial issues?
I would say they make some attempts. I believe their attempts are political though. Like I said, this is a business, so they have to make sure that their business is doing what it's supposed to do. So they're not gonna, you know, go out their way specifically for the African American community for certain things. But you got to think about it. They're not doing that really for anybody though, honestly. It's about just making sure that they are able to reach their quotas and be able to keep their business in motion. NIU costs over $1 million to run a day, you know, so they have to be able to fund that. But to be able to give resources, NIU has to have resources itself. And the city of DeKalb have to contribute with those resources as well. And that's something that's just, you know, maybe need to be taken up with the aldermans or something of that nature.
Okay. With that being said, speaking on resources, one second.